And now, Kbeach is proud to present its official CSULB LGBT. Just a little bit of QI and A. Oh, heck. Let's just keep it gay.
I am not gay. I never have been gay.
And this is John Trapper, the host of Keep It Gay, and I am here on a very special program because this coming week we have Long Beach Pride, one of the biggest and best events in Long Beach. Actually, it's the second biggest event in Long Beach, and the second Pride, I think, in the state, the second size for Pride. So for most of us, that means just a really fun weekend. For my two guests today, it means a lot of work all year long, and really, looking at both of you, it's been a lot of work for many, many years. So, because both of you have been with the Long Beach Pride, Inc. for many years, right? I've got Vanessa Romain, emeritus member of the board of directors for Long Beach Pride, and Pat Crosby, current co-president of Long Beach Pride. And that is along with, what is the gentleman's name who
Bob Crow, who's also a founder.
And a founder. So, welcome to Kbeach Radio.
We're happy to be here.
Thank you.
And let's jump right into things. First of all, let's tell people what Pride is. Not Pride, Gay Pride, but Pride, the organization. How did it start? What does it do, etc.?
Well, this is our 28th year, and I'm going to field this to Vanessa because she's been around a lot longer than I have.
It started in somebody's backyard, actually in somebody's living room, to talk about we wanted our own here in Long Beach. We didn't want to keep going to West Hollywood. We wanted to make a difference right here in our own community because we had plenty of lesbian and gay people here in the community. So we wanted to do our own, and it started as a conversation with 4 people, and from there, it has become what it is today. Bob Crow, Judy Doyle, and Marilyn Barlow were the founding members of the organization. And they recruited people as left and right to do different jobs throughout the years, and again, 28 years of Long Beach Lesbian and Gay Pride.
Wow, that's something else. And in these times, just we've got so many festivals and that sort of thing. So you guys were really on the verge of something then, because Pride was not big all over the nation. There were very few 28 years ago.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Do you know where you stand in terms of the overall Prides, like what number you came in at?
Well, I think we come in like 3rd or 4th, but when you look at our different Pride events, they're different. When you look at Europe, there's so many thousands of people, but it's not coordinated and organized the way that ours is. So we look at ourselves as the 3rd largest in the nation. But on the other side of that, it depends on the organization that's putting it on.
Right. So I attended one of your meetings this week, and so I really saw a board of really hardworking people, all who have invested. And this is like one of the last meetings, so I haven't been involved in the process. But it's definitely something that people are highly committed to. You could tell you guys have known each other for a while, most of you. I can tell there's been debates in the room. I think I caught a little bit of one right when I walked in, but it's obviously anything, when you're putting on something of that magnitude, there's going to be all sorts of disagreements and that sort of thing. So, but the result is something that is absolutely wonderful for all of us, and that's Pride Weekend next weekend starting. The kickoff is probably like Wednesday, right? Really? Well, we had the kickoff with the mayor's reception.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which was, what was the date of that? That was just last week?
The 6th, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It was Friday.
Last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a first, and so that's something that just is another pat on the back, saying that we are acknowledged as a proud part of this community, which sometimes doesn't happen. I mean, we don't always feel that way.
Well, it didn't happen 28 years ago, for sure.
Right.
I don't think the mayor would even talk to us in a single room alone back then. But I think now it's a part of our Long Beach community. We are very much accepted and respected because we have of the longevity of the organization and the commitment that the individuals, volunteers, put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really lucky that all our city council and the mayor, they truly believe in equality.
Right. Right, and that's like Vanessa said, it's been a process because it hasn't always been that way.
That's correct.
But I think Beverly O'Neill was pretty gay friendly. Mm-hmm. She was probably the one who started the sort of the touchy feely. I mean, not the begrudgingly doing the Pride Festival and the Pride Parade, but and now we have so many gay people in Long Beach politics and a lot of money in Long Beach politics. So
Yeah, I think Beverly was the first mayor that really was embracing of the concept of diversity in our community. And but we've always had friends in city council. It's just that they weren't able to stick their necks out as much as when you're the mayor, you can do what you need to do.
Right. Now the political calculations are good for us. So,
They sure are.
And 85,000 of us wandering around here too. So is estimated. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Okay, so let's get into the fun part. What's the first big event this coming week?
The big event coming this week is going to be on Thursday at the Laugh Factory, Laugh Till You Tinkle.
Oh, wow. And is that what Wanda Sykes is going to be there, or is that a different thing?
No, that has nothing to do with Long Beach Pride.
That's a
private.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that?
event.
Yeah, I know. That's like they come in and they blur the line and they take advantage of all your work. And
Well, I think it comes to organizations that we need to maybe work with in the future and say that this would be something that we would like for collaboration so that we don't step on each other's toes.
Right,
And we
right.
don't get hurt feelings and things of like that don't happen.
right. So yeah, I mean, especially since we get such an international crowd coming
That's
in
right.
and spending money, let's spread it out the whole week and have Wanda, Tuesday and have a whole lineup of events because people will love that and more people will come.
That's
So.
right.
Okay, Laugh Till You Tinkle then has, I know we were talking about Ant just before we went on. Who else is playing that night? Just a lot of fun comedians, right?
A lot of fun comedians, and I can't remember their names right now.
Carlise is going to be there,
Yeah.
and we have all kinds of a diverse group of entertainers and comedians that are going to be there.
Yeah, okay. And then after that, another non-official Pride event on Friday night is the Pink Party. Is that, no, that's not official, right?
No, it
But
is official.
Oh, it is official now. Was it the first year too?
Last year it was also.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, and that's started by a couple friends of mine, and I think Robert Garcia is one of the founders, as well as Miles. It's, of course, from Robert's district, and that's really fun. It's hosted by drag queen Jules, a local drag queen here, and they close off Pine Street, and not the part that you would think. They close off the whole business segment, and they make the some of the nightclubs accessible and that kind of thing. So that's a really fun night as well. You guys probably never saw that because you're so busy working. So you're looking at me like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, we are really busy, and it's hard to get to all the events. However, I think this year it's going to be down on Shoreline Drive on the grass.
okay, well, let's see. We have a caller coming in right. Well, Miles, you are one of the founders of the Pink Party, which we were just talking about. So you can tell me what you have lined up this year?
While I and a few others founded the Pink Party, we're not too much involved in the planning of it anymore. It's been taken over by the Downtown Long Beach Associates, or the DLBA, and that is a business and community development organization in downtown Long Beach, and they're planning the event this year. So I know that they have moved the event, and it's going to be down near the Ferris wheel.
Oh, wow. Okay, because I'm glad you called in because I was just totally giving misinformation about it. So that's good.
Yeah.
So it's down by the Ferris wheel. Is that Pine Street or
Near Pine, I guess that's Pine and
Shoreline?
Shoreline.
Shoreline.
Cool. And what was the reason for that? Because wasn't the original goal to try and get some traffic into the businesses on Pine Street?
Yeah, it was, and I think that that's still part of the goal, but this time I think a lot of the businesses that will be patronized will be more in the Pike area, the large Pike development. And so they're going to shut down some of those streets, and it's going to allow a lot more foot traffic, and I think potentially increase the attendance of the Pink Party.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a great area to have a party, just like Shoreline Drive is for the festival itself. It lends itself to a great time.
Yeah.
What is the lineup? I know you're not that involved in the planning, but I assume you're in on what's going on. Can you tell us about that?
Honestly, John, I don't know the exact lineup, but on the sort of community support side, I know that the proceeds of the event will still benefit in part the Mighty program at the Long Beach Gay and Lesbian Center. That's the Mentoring Youth Through Empowerment program.
Nice.
Which provides counseling and sort of critical counseling to high school students. So in terms of entertainment, I don't exactly know, to be honest with you.
I know Jules is hosting it, and she did last year. I think she's the official sort of trademark host at this point, isn't she?
She, yeah. I think so.
I've met him as a man and as a woman, but he really is more in the community. He's a she, so I think we're safe with that.
Okay.
I think Jules is a she.
Yes.
So,
yes. Yes.
And so it's great music. The attendance last year was actually really good. Do you remember the count on that?
I remember Steve telling us it was about 1,000 people. Yeah, I believe.
I was there, and it seemed like more.
Steve this year is saying that they're hoping for about 2,500.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and the Facebook ad campaign has been great because I know it's hit, I've seen it probably every time I've been on Facebook. And I have a number of identities, for the radio station and personally and that sort of thing. And it's popped up in everything. So you guys are doing a really strong Facebook campaign. So that will help. Awesome. Well, is there anything else? First of all, I should also tell everyone that Miles Nevin, who's on the phone with us, is one of the original founders of the Pink Party, is also a graduate of CSULB, has worked at CSULB, is currently with the CSSA, which is the organization that lobbies Sacramento really to get us more money, basically, right, Miles?
Yeah, that's right. On behalf of the students, we are the Student Advocacy Association.
Yeah, and he coordinates really the student leaders from all the campuses in the CSU system. So, and just coincidentally, falls under the LGBT umbrella and does a lot of stuff out in the community in that vein as well. So
right.
I hope to see you at the Pink Party Friday. We're going to go down the list of other events right now and talk about what else is going on.
Great. You'll definitely see me there. I need to go shopping still, but I'm sure I'll be able to do that. I have a week to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Miles.
Thanks, John.
All right. Okay. So that was Miles Nevin. Not a surprise after all, but we got our information on the Pink Party, and it's a good thing because we were sending people to the wrong neighborhood, which is not a good idea. So Friday night happens, and then Saturday we get up and we go to the festival, right?
That's right.
And let's talk a little bit about the layout of the festival this year. We have it's amazing. There's so much going on that really we have the main tent, the main stage.
Yes.
So let's talk about the entertainers Saturday. Do you guys remember who's going to be on Saturday?
God knows who's going to be entertaining on Saturday. One of the things that I do know, is that we're having Taylor Dane, aren't we?
Yes, Taylor Dane is Saturday.
Yes.
And she was there the year we live broadcast it from. We live broadcasted it from the main stage, which was very cool. I can tell you Shangela from RuPaul's Drag Race is one of the hosts, I think, for both days.
Right, for both days.
Mm-hmm. And Ann Walker from Sorted Lives.
Yes, and I produce a show outside of here called The Golden Gaze, and we had Del Shores come to see the show last week, which was an honor. Yeah, and I love Sorted Lives. That was like a cult film. Mm-hmm. I took it home to make my family watch it. They didn't get it because it was about them, but so that was really interesting. But she's funny too. She plays in Sorted Lives. She plays sort of this drunk woman who's really very very funny, almost like Foster Brooks. I don't know if you guys remember Foster Brooks,
yes,
but
I do. Yeah.
Yes.
But we also have on Friday night we have our gospel, or what we call our Friday night concert in the park.
For the faith community.
For the faith community, and that's held at Bixby Park here in Long Beach, right off of
Free
Cherry.
event?
Oh, that's one that I didn't know about.
Yes.
Is this a first for that, or has that always gone on?
No, we've had it for the last 2 or 3 years because we've had a faith-based stage in the past, and because it's at the festival and it costs $20, a lot of people did not want to participate, and so the change was made over to make it a Friday night thing where all the churches in the community could participate free of charge, and the gospel singers in the different groups could perform at the park on Friday night before the event. Because when you deal with gospel groups, you're dealing with 10 to 20 people, and when you start thinking about how many tickets that would be per gospel group, blah, 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 it became very expensive to us and for us as an organization. So that got moved to the park, and now it is free of charge for anyone who wants to attend.
That's great. I'm going to that.
And this year we're stepping it up a little bit and bringing in some entertainment from out of town. So I think the headliner is Marvin Matthews.
So how many groups are there then?
Well, it varies from year to year, but there's about maybe 6 to 10 performers who get up and do their thing from the gospel aspect or the spiritual aspect. I don't want to call it gospel
Right,
only,
right.
but it's a spiritual groups that come from different walks of the religious life.
And that's great because the rest of the community who might not otherwise participate in Pride, they get a really nice message about what our community is all about that way. Wow, I guess I should read more because I didn't realize that was going on.
It's a lot of fun.
Is there a host? Is there an MC of the full evening that keeps it going along?
I believe that's Marvin Matthews also.
Oh, great. That's very exciting. And just for those of you listening, Bixby Park is the park that it's right at the ocean and Cherry to Juanapero. And
6 to 8.
6 to 8. So what a nice way to bring in the weekend.
Yes.
And then you can go to the Pink Party, and don't overdo it because you have a full weekend of events coming.
Yes.
And so we're back in the festival the next day. Tickets are $20.
That's
Yes,
right.
they are.
And if you want to volunteer, and especially to our students out here, if you want to volunteer, there's still opportunities, I think, to volunteer in exchange for your fee.
Yes,
Right, right.
you need to go online, LongBeachPride.com, go to the volunteer button, and you can submit an application, or you can call Long Beach Pride, which is 562.
987-9191.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah, but do it online because they're really overworked right now. So and you guys are smart, so do it online.
Yes.
Right, the minimum requirement is 4 hours of your time, and you'll be paid $6 an hour, which will go to the nonprofit organization of your choice.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a great program. Also, now there was talk about drink tickets and things like that, I think, at the meeting. So there will be all sorts of beverages. You have to buy tickets. I think they limited this year to 20 at a time, right? Which is basically about 4 beers. So you're not being,
Right,
too limited
so-
in that way.
So you're not limited to a total of 20 tickets, but only 20 at a time through the ticket line.
And you don't need beer to enjoy the Pride Festival, although many people do partake.
Right. We have all kind of beverages. It's not just beer. There's also Bacardi, and there's also water and sodas, things of that nature.
And
Wine this year.
And lots of food vendors as well. We also have Fiesta Caliente for the weekend, which I'm just super excited. That's my thing. And you have Vilma Diaz, which she's basically the front woman for La Sonora Dinamita, which nobody ever knows. Like if you're not Latino, nobody ever knows who that is, but you've heard her. And it's if you've ever been to any sort of a Latin event, constant dance music. So it's very exciting. And then there is the country tent.
Country.
And there's a lot of two-stepping.
A lot of dancing, a lot of, what is that, Western tap dancing?
Oh, clogging.
Clogging.
Yes.
Oh, clogging.
Yeah,
Yes.
cloggers, yeah.
So I just learned something else. So,
Yes.
and that's really fun to watch, even if you're
It is.
not somebody who does it. But to see, hundreds of people all doing the same thing at the same time, I always just spend like a half an hour just watching that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
For sure, because you've got people of all walks of life doing country dancing, and it's amazing how they can just the same steps, they know it, and they just do it. They
Yeah.
just jump right in.
And we have I like to call it the Twinkie tent, but it's not the, you guys probably wouldn't feel appropriate, but it's really the young electronic music.
Oh, the dance
and
tent.
the dance tent.
Dance
Yeah,
tent,
it's
yes.
typically a lot of younger people,
Okay.
and it's the other ones are all pretty diverse, but that one tends to be more
Yeah.
of the clubbers.
Right, it's the high energy kind of tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, high energy.
And that's fun and always crowded.
Yes, and then we have Urban Soul.
Urban Soul.
Yes, which is another high energy group of individuals, and it's constantly music, constant. And this year, I believe we're having a few performers over in that
there's
area as well.
some live entertainers
there is.
as well.
A lot of DJs over there this year.
Yes.
You don't know any of the live entertainers at the Soul Tent? There was somebody there that I was really excited about, and I can't remember who.
Urban Soul.
LongBeachPride.com, everybody, and you can find out who that is because it's on the website. The Urban Soul Tent is also, that's where you're going to go. You're going to get your hip hop, and you're going to get your R&B, and you're going to get a lot of great entertainment. So that's actually become almost equal, I think, to the dance tent in
Yes.
terms of popularity.
Yeah, I think it's become as popular as dance. I think it's just a different variety of music, and we've got 6 to 7 stages, so it's almost impossible for us to know all the entertainers and the DJs that are performing, and what time they're performing, and but it's constant music, and that's why I say there's 6 or 7 stages, and with that, you're going to get entertainment on every level.
Right, and that's why we have a website, everyone. So LongBeachPride.com, and you can check it's all there. And there's also programs all over town. It's a really beautiful program. You can find that at the coffee shops, the bars, the drugstores, just about everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other areas that we didn't talk about. One is our transgender stage.
Yeah, and that's fairly new. That's just a couple years old, right?
It is, and not only would they have entertainment, but a lot of speakers.
Yeah. And that's where is that in proximity to? Because it's sort of removed from the main areas, right?
It is. I believe it's in Rainbow Lagoon this year.
Yeah, and that's also where the dry area is, right? Isn't there the non-alcohol?
This the fifth section where the family fun zone is as well.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it was. The family fun zone.
Yes.
And which brings us to that point too.
Yes.
This is a place you can take your kids.
Definitely a place to bring your kids.
Yes. Well, Friday night is Teen Pride, and so all the teenagers are in the festival grounds, and it's open to them. Family Fun Zone is open both Saturday and Sunday, and you can have your children there till 5:30 in the evening. And at that point, we ask the children to leave so the adults can party.
Right. But with the adults, with
their
adults.
yes.
With their adults, yes.
Kids, get out.
That's right. That's right.
One of the things that's positive about the Family Fun Zone is that you can't go in and just drop your child off. It's not a babysitting process. It's an activity program for you to bring your children and to have activities that are geared toward young children and their parent or their supervisor, whoever they might be, to be involved in activities while they're at the festival.
Now, just for clarification, kids are allowed in the main festival too, right?
Yes, they are.
It's up to the parents' discretion on what they want them to see and that sort of thing. But if there's anything that they would find provocative that they don't want, that's why the Family Fun Zone exists. But kids are also welcome in the main festival.
Yes,
they are. There's a couple of exceptions. One being the leather tent, where you have to show ID.
18 and older.
Right. And I thought that was something funny about the meeting the other night was I don't know if it's okay to say this, but that Vice has let us know that we need to keep the leather tent clean. Which I was there last night. Last year there was nothing too drastic going on.
When it comes to the community versus the police department, wearing chaps with no underwear is risque to the police department.
Oh my goodness! I think the police should be wearing chaps with no underwear.
Well,
it would make us like them more.
You feel that way, I feel that way, but they want us to wear underwear. So, for that matter, there's different levels of risque.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And, I've heard a lot of debate about, parades and things like that when, it's not good representation of the community when we get too risque in that way. But the leather tent is, you'd make the choice to go in there and that kind of thing. So.
And I think, too, that it has to do with our own community dignity. When we talk about risque and the parade route, that's at any parade. They don't want you showing your genitals. I mean, they don't. That's no matter what parade it is. And I think that people feel like, oh, it's freedom. Let's do this. But it's not really. It's your own human dignity you should look at versus why you're showing your genitals to the public. It just skips the law.
Yeah, I think for some people it's just that they've been so suppressed for so many years that they just want to let it all hang out, and that's
do it on the Christmas parade. Do it someplace else.
I know, do it at 2nd Street.
Yeah.
It's same audience.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What did we miss? There's the leather tent. There's there's all sorts of sponsors, which is the corporate sponsors and the booths that you can visit and you can buy stuff and you can see all the LGBT oriented corporations, those that support us. Can you name some of those?
We've got Budweiser for sure.
Budweiser,
and
Bacardi, Charter Television, Teachers Association, Barefoot
Wine. Yeah, we could go on and on. We've got Union Bank,
Wells Fargo.
Yeah, we've got a lot of
JetBlue.
Yeah.
Now, having been with the organization for so long, Now just seeing that happen, hasn't that been amazing? Because if we were to have that conversation that Union Bank is sponsoring us, and 20 years ago, wouldn't you have? I mean, it's almost surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, it would have never happened 20 years ago. People were running away from us back then.
Right.
But now I think that they've understood and are educated that we're everywhere, and many of the companies that we are have corporate sponsors with know that they have a lesbian and gay community that works within this system, and they're more open to being seeing that it's a well-ran event, and they want to be a part of it now. A lot more people want to be a part of it. I mean, you've got Southern California Edison, you've got folks like that are participating, Verizon in the parades and festivals. So it's
Disney.
Really, there's so many more people who want to be a part of because we are everywhere.
Disney, and when you say Disney, Mickey and Minnie will not be there, but it's
their hands will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're probably still a little protective, I'm guessing, but they do have the organization. They have one of the best employee organizations of any.
Right.
This year they're sending out the fire truck from Main Street.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So again, maybe Minnie and Mickey won't be there, but when you look at the reality of Disney and you look at Donald Duck, did he ever get married? Let's start questioning some of those things.
Either.
There you go. So there you go.
So
Tinky Winky and the rest of them.
He needs to go to the leather tent then.
Yeah, of course. You know.
This year we're going to have 389 vendor tents. That's including people selling things and giving information and food.
That's huge.
That's a lot.
That's
huge.
Mm-hmm. And if you haven't been to a festival, and this goes for straight people too. Anyone I know that has ever been there just has a great time. Whether you like to just walk around and buy stuff, it's fun. If you just want to park your butt down in front of the main stage and watch the entertainment, that's extremely fun, especially if the weather is cooperating, which it's predicted to right now.
Yes.
So all that stuff is just, or dance. I mean, you can dance the whole weekend away and lose that extra weight for the summertime. But let's jump to the parade, and we'll come back to entertainment because the parade is also one of the highlights. I think I always have felt it's a magical parade. It's better than any of the. I don't want to pick on the other ones, but I enjoy it more than any of the other parades. I've been to all of them: New York, Boston, San Francisco, L.A. And ours is just a really, really fun parade. Maybe it's because of the backdrop of the ocean being right there. But this year, I'm really excited because we have as Grand Marshal one of my favorite talk show hosts, Stephanie Miller.
That's right.
So how did that come about, that she's coming?
It's just the great work of the parade committee that went out looking for the best Grand Marshals, and I think it started out with just sending a letter, and the relationship started from there.
And yeah, she, for those of you who don't know who Stephanie is, for some of us, she was our savior during the Bush administration. Mm-hmm. She hosted a very early talk show on KTLK in Los Angeles, which is an AM station, and she came out this year. Mm-hmm. So she was always pretty gay friendly anyway, and she has her co-producer is boy toy Chris Lavoie. So there's. She just the way she talks is very gay friendly. So she's the Grand Marshal. Who else is it? Grand Marshal? Is that? And then who else is involved in the parade this year?
We have the Trevor Project is being honored. We have also
Tanya Martin.
Tanya Martin is going to be honored. Corey Allen from Lambda. We can keep going on and on. Let's see here. We also have a political Grand Marshal that I think, and a bridge builder, Miss Levy. Just every piece of the community we represents one of our marshals, and we're real excited about that we have such a diverse group of people.
And again, if you haven't been to the parade, you just line up on Ocean anywhere from, I think,
Lindero to Alamedas,
all the way downtown. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's really cool is after the parade, you follow it and you just go right into the festival.
Yes,
that's right.
That's really exciting.
You can buy your parking in advance.
You can buy your parking in advance.
Yes. So and you even save some money by doing that.
Yes,
and
we encourage you to do that.
Yeah, and you donate $1, I think, to Pride.
That's right.
By doing that.
That's right. Just go to our website and follow the link.
Okay. And so a lot of fun, but you just sort of line up along the way, and it feels very Mardi Gras, the sort of thing.
Yeah. And I think that every aspect, again, of our community is in that parade, whether it is a straight organization or a gay organization or a band or a marching unit. It's so diverse. It's so Long Beach. And that's what's so wonderful about it. Yeah. It's so Long Beach. It's got everybody in it.
Again, the thing that warms my heart all the time is all the churches.
Yeah.
That because people think we're not spiritual.
Yeah.
And you see just, so many churches. And then there's always that group that's protesting in that one little area. And it's the same people every year. I mean, we might as well be friends at this point.
It's gotten a lot smaller from the beginning.
Yeah.
Now it's like maybe 5 or 6. And we let them have their space, and they do all their damage verbally, and we just ignore them.
Well, I think they come because they like it.
I do too, but and they travel all around to the other prides too. So it's kind of like we get to know them by first name basis.
And then there's also the other one that always gets me is the P flag, because like I always cry whenever I see that, because it's it's just so heartwarming to see, and some very elderly people with their kids and couples, and then little kids, and whose parents came out after they had. I mean, all different stories, but you just see. I mean, that's really the a patchwork of Americana right there. It is. It really says who we are and how diverse we are, and which I think we even forget sometimes, because we're running around in our little circles, and we forget that